what is this amazing thing? Have you ever wondered about the cloud? It sounds a bit mysterious, doesn't it? Well, cloud computing isn't actually about those fluffy white things up in the sky. It is a super clever way of using computers that are not right in front of you. Imagine giant, powerful computers located in big buildings far away. You can connect to these computers using the internet. This means your files, your photos, and even the apps you use can live online. They don't have to take up space on your own computer's hard drive. It's like having access to almost unlimited computing power and storage whenever you need it. Science. You probably use cloud computing every single day, maybe without even realizing it. Think about it. Do you enjoy watching movies or shows on Netflix? That's the cloud working its magic. Do you listen to your favorite songs on Spotify or Apple Music? Yep, that's the cloud too. When you write a school paper using Google Docs, your work is saved safely in the cloud. Your emails, whether you use Gmail, Outlook.com, or another service, are all stored and managed in the cloud. Even when your phone automatically backs up your precious photos online, that's the cloud helping you out. It's like having a huge, invisible hard drive and a giant app store available to you everywhere. So, how does all this amazing cloud stuff actually happen? It's not magic, it's science and engineering. Big technology companies have enormous buildings that are packed full of computers. These special buildings are called data centers. Picture thousands and thousands of powerful computers, all linked together, working day and night. These data centers store huge amounts of data and run all sorts of applications for people and businesses all over the world. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are some of the biggest players who build and manage these incredible data centers. They handle all the complicated technical stuff, keeping things running smoothly. You just connect through the internet and use the services you need. Easy peasy. The cloud has some really neat tricks or characteristics that make it so useful. One of these is called self-service. This means you can get the computing resources you need exactly when you need them, all by yourself. It's a bit like getting a snack from a very smart vending machine, but instead of chips, you get computer power or storage. Another fantastic feature is that you can access your cloud stuff from lots of different devices. You can use your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, or even a desktop computer. As long as you have an internet connection, your files and applications in the cloud are right there at your fingertips. This makes working, learning, and playing incredibly flexible. Now, not all clouds are built the same way, you know. There are different types. First, let's talk about the public cloud. This is kind of like a big public park or a library. It's built for everyone to use. The large cloud provider companies, the ones with the giant data centers, own and operate these public clouds. Many different people, businesses, and organizations can share the computing resources offered by the public cloud. Because the costs are shared among many users, it's often a more affordable option. Many popular services you use, like Gmail or Dropbox, run on the public cloud. It's a great choice for lots of everyday tasks, and for many businesses too. Then we have something called the private cloud. Think of this one as your very own private backyard, or a clubhouse just for you or your group. A private cloud is typically dedicated to a single business or organization. This means they have more control over how it's set up and managed. Often this can lead to enhanced security, which is very important for companies that handle sensitive information. However, building and running a private cloud can be more expensive because the organization has to cover all the costs themselves. And guess what? Scientists and engineers came up with a hybrid cloud too. This clever setup mixes public and private clouds together, allowing a company to use the best features of both. It's like a perfect combination. Some organizations take it even a step further and use what's called a multi-cloud approach. This means they don't just stick to one public cloud provider. They use services from several different ones. For example, a company might like one provider for their database needs and another provider for their artificial intelligence tools. It's like having a whole toolbox with specialized tools for different jobs. You pick the best one for what you need to do. Another super cool characteristic of cloud computing is pay-per-use. This is exactly what it sounds like. You only pay for the computing resources you actually consume. It's similar to your electricity bill. If you use more lights, you pay more. If you use fewer, you pay less. This model can save a lot of money for individuals and businesses. The cloud offers its amazing capabilities through different service models. One very common model is software as a service, which is often shortened to SaaS. Think of SaaS as renting software instead of buying a physical copy and installing it. You access this software over the internet, usually by paying a subscription fee. Great examples of SaaS include Google Workspace, with Docs, Sheets, and Slides, or Microsoft Office 365. You don't install the full program on your computer in the traditional way. You just log in and use it online. The cloud company takes care of all the updates, maintenance, and bug fixes. This makes it incredibly convenient for users everywhere. Besides SaaS, there are other important cloud service models too. Consider Platform as a Service, or PaaS. This model is designed for software developers, the brilliant people who create new applications and programs. With PaaS, the cloud provider gives developers a complete platform, like a digital workshop with all the tools they need to build, test, and run their applications. The developers don't have to worry about managing the underlying servers, operating systems, or storage. Then there's Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. This is like renting the fundamental building blocks of computing virtual computers, network connections, and data storage. With IaaS, users get a lot of control, but they also have more responsibility for managing things themselves. It's incredibly powerful for complex needs. The cloud offers so many benefits, it's simply astounding. One of the biggest advantages is something called scalability. What a fantastic word! Scalability means that the cloud can easily grow or shrink to meet your needs, almost instantly. Imagine your cool new website suddenly becomes super popular and thousands of people visit it at once. The cloud can automatically handle that surge in traffic by adding more computing power. Zoom! It can scale up when you need more and scale down when you need less. Remote access is another huge plus. This means you can get to your files, your data, and your applications from almost anywhere in the world. All you need is a device and an internet connection. How cool is that for working or playing on the go? Let's talk about saving money, because who doesn't like that? The cloud can definitely help with cost savings. For businesses, especially new or small ones, this is a big deal. They don't need to buy lots of expensive computer servers and equipment up front. They also don't necessarily need a large IT team just to manage all that hardware. With the pay-per-use model we talked about, they only pay for the resources they actually use, which can be much more efficient. Backup reliability is another feature that can be a real lifesaver. Your important data, like family photos or crucial business documents, can be automatically backed up to the cloud. So if your computer ever crashes or gets lost, poof, your data is still safe and sound online. How is all this cloud magic different from the old-style traditional web hosting? That's a great question to ask. With traditional hosting, you often got a fixed amount of storage space and processing power on a single, specific server. If your website suddenly needed more resources, getting them could be a slow and complicated process. Plus, if that one server experienced a problem or failed, your website or application could go offline completely. Cloud computing, on the other hand, is much more flexible and robust. It uses a whole network of interconnected computers, so it's less likely that a single point of failure will bring everything down. It can scale up or down easily, as we've discussed. Traditional hosting is like owning just one car. Cloud computing is like having access to a giant car rental service with any type of vehicle you need. Another fantastic and super important characteristic of the cloud is high availability. This means that cloud services are designed and built to be working and accessible almost all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How do they do that? Well, because your data and applications are often copied and spread across many different servers and even different data centers. If one server has a little hiccup or needs maintenance, another one can quickly take over its job without you even noticing. This is incredibly important for businesses that need to be online constantly, like online stores or banking services. Think about your favorite online game. You want it to be available whenever you want to play. High availability is like having a backup plan that's always ready to go. Now, even though the cloud is amazing, it isn't absolutely perfect. There are some challenges and limitations to consider. Security risks are something everyone needs to think about. When you use the cloud, your data is stored on computers owned and managed by someone else, remember? So, You are trusting that cloud provider to keep your information safe from hackers and unauthorized access. Cloud companies invest enormous amounts of money and effort into security, but no system can be 100% foolproof. Internet dependency is another key limitation. To access your cloud services and data, you absolutely need a stable and reasonably fast internet connection. If your internet goes down, poof, you might not be able to get to your files or use your cloud-based apps until it's back up. Sometimes, there can also be hidden costs associated with cloud services. While the pay-per-use model sounds incredibly attractive and can save money, it can also become complicated. If you're not careful about monitoring how many resources you're using, or if your needs unexpectedly spike, your monthly bill could be higher than you anticipated. So it's really important to understand the pricing models and keep an eye on your usage. Another consideration is that you generally have less control over the underlying infrastructure compared to owning and managing your own physical servers. The cloud provider takes care of the hardware and the core systems. For most users, this is a huge benefit because it simplifies things. But for some specialized applications or organizations with very specific requirements, having complete control is vital. So who are the big major players in this vast cloud computing world? You've probably heard some of their names. Amazon Web Services, often called AWS, is a massive provider. Microsoft Azure is another giant in the field, and so is Google Cloud Platform, or GCP. These companies, along with others, provide the powerful infrastructure that forms the backbone for much of the internet and an incredible number of services we use today. Cloud computing is truly, deeply, and fundamentally changing our daily lives, folks. It affects how we work, how we learn, how we entertain ourselves, and how we connect with each other. It's making advanced technology more accessible and more powerful for everyone around the globe. The cloud is here, it's growing, and it's making the future happen right now.